Silent departure of humanity. The Council paid the price for centuries. The Galactic Council had treated humanity as a weak and foolish species. Other alien civilizations often laughed at Earth and its people, calling them primitive, emotional, and dangerous only in unpredictable ways. They said humans could never survive in the wider galaxy because they did not follow rules like everyone else. But humans were stubborn, clever, and willing to take risks no one else dared. On the surface, Earth seemed peaceful. Its cities thrived with technology, but the Council could not understand human society. They judged everything through their own cold logic. Ambassador Daniel Brooks, who had spent most of his adult life in council meetings, understood this all too well. He often sat quietly in the grand chambers, listening to alien delegates argue over trade agreements or military disputes. No matter what he said, the council always seemed to think humans were expendable. "You have to be careful, Daniel," said Commander Lisa Grant, standing beside him during one long session. Her voice was calm, but Daniel noticed a slight tremor in her hands. "They do not take warnings seriously. They think humans will just follow their rules because we are small. They are wrong." Daniel sighed. He knew she was right. The Council had a long history of making decisions without thinking of the consequences. Every time humans made contact with new alien species, the Council acted as if humans were a problem, not a partner. They imposed fines, blocked trade, and sometimes even ordered human ships destroyed. And yet, humanity always found a way to survive. The current crisis began with a small border dispute between the human colonies on the planet Arcadia and a nearby alien civilization called the Clerians. The Clerians were powerful and prideful. They complained that humans had mined resources too close to their space, claiming it violated interstellar law. The Council, as always, sided with the stronger species. Humans were ordered to withdraw and pay compensation. Daniel Brooks had argued, pleaded, and even tried reasoning with the Council. He had presented evidence that humans had followed all regulations and that Clerians were exaggerating. But no matter what he said, the Council voted against Earth. The human colonies were now under pressure to obey, or they would face severe consequences. Back on Earth, President Kevin Carter held a meeting in the Secure Command Center beneath the capital city. Around him were the brightest human leaders: Admiral Megan Holt, the chief of the fleet, Dr. Aaron Cole, the head of scientific research, and several trusted military officers. They spoke in hushed voices because every word was recorded and monitored by Council drones. "We have followed their rules for centuries," President Carter said, his face pale but determined. "We have obeyed every law, and what has it gotten us? Nothing but sanctions, restrictions, and threats. They think they can control us, but they are wrong." Admiral Megan Holt leaned forward, her eyes steady. "Sir, if we continue to fight them openly, the Council will destroy our fleets. They have the resources, the numbers, and the power to wipe us out. We cannot compete yet." Dr. Aaron Cole, older and thoughtful, shook his head. "Megan is right. They would destroy us in a direct fight. But if we act carefully, quietly, we might survive in a way they cannot predict." President Carter's eyes narrowed. "Quietly? You mean hiding? You mean letting them think they have won while we prepare in secret?" Aaron nodded slowly. "Exactly. They will never see it coming. If we obey their orders for now, we can build something stronger in the shadows, something they cannot control, something that will protect humanity forever." The room fell silent. Each person thought about the risks. If the Council discovered their plan, humanity would be crushed. Every colony could be destroyed. Every ship could be annihilated. And yet every person in that room knew they had no other choice. Daniel Brooks, who had just returned from the Council chamber, walked into the room. He carried the weight of knowing how the Council saw humanity as expendable. He looked at President Carter and said, "They think we will surrender. They believe our silence is weakness." But silence can be stronger than war. If we act carefully, the galaxy will never see us coming. President Carter nodded. "Then it is decided. We will obey the Council for now. We will power down our fleets, withdraw our colonies, and appear to surrender. But behind the scenes, we will prepare. Humanity will not be destroyed. We will leave, and we will return when the time is right." The decision was difficult but necessary. Humans began the process of silent compliance. Shipyards closed, communications slowed, and fleets powered down. Colonies went dark. Trade routes stopped, and Earth sent messages of obedience to the Council. The galaxy saw humanity stepping back, quiet and seemingly submissive. The council celebrated. They believed their strategy had worked. They had broken the will of a proud species. Council chambers echoed with laughter and congratulations as alien representatives praised each other for keeping humanity in its place. Representative Nora Hale, one of the council's most senior members, said, "Finally, we see that humans can follow rules. They are nothing without us." But Daniel Brooks, sitting on a hidden observation deck aboard a secret Earth vessel, knew the truth. Humanity was not surrendering, they were leaving. Underneath the oceans, deserts, and mountains of Earth, humanity had built something no alien could detect. Secret facilities, hidden shipyards, and training centers were constructed. Ships that appeared old and abandoned were actually modern and deadly. Scientists like Aaron Cole had developed engines capable of speeds no council fleet could match. Engineers like Megan Holt had created weapons and defense systems designed to disable council ships without destroying them. Every piece of technology was disguised. Every fleet was hidden. Every system was designed to appear inactive. Humanity had created a silent armada, and they had trained for decades. Every human soldier, pilot, and technician knew that when the time came, they would move as one. They would not beg for respect. They would not ask for permission. They would show the galaxy the true power of a species that had been underestimated for too long. Daniel walked through the corridors of the hidden base, observing young pilots and engineers preparing for missions. Their eyes were bright, full of determination. They did not hate the council, but they understood the lesson of centuries. No one survives by waiting for approval from those who think themselves superior. Megan Holt entered the command room, where rows of human officers monitored data from across the galaxy. "Everything is ready," she said. "Our fleets are hidden, our ships are fueled, and our colonies are prepared for departure. The council believes we are silent and weak." "Soon they will see how wrong they are," Daniel smiled slightly. "It is strange, isn't it? They think silence is weakness, but sometimes silence is the loudest statement a species can make." The humans moved quietly. Ships lifted off from secret spaceports, unseen by council scanners. Entire fleets disappeared into the darkness of space. Colonies relocated to remote, uncharted systems. Resources, technology, and knowledge were transferred to these new hidden locations. All the while, the council believed humanity had surrendered. They praised themselves for a victory that was nothing more than an illusion. The galaxy grew complacent, unaware that humanity was quietly gathering strength beyond their reach. Meanwhile, on Earth, Daniel and Megan observed the final stages of the plan. Every human had a role. Every action had a purpose. They knew that one day, the council would discover the truth, and when that day came, humanity would no longer be the species the galaxy had underestimated. President Carter addressed his advisors one last time before departing aboard the first flagship. "Remember this," he said firmly. "We obeyed them not because we had to, but because it was the only way to survive. Our departure is not defeat, it is strategy. The council has made the mistake of believing they control us. They have not. And when the time comes, we will remind the galaxy why humanity should never be underestimated." Aaron Cole, standing beside him, nodded. "And when that time comes, they will see the result of underestimating a species willing to think, plan, and endure beyond their imagination." The first human fleet slipped beyond the visible galaxy, hidden by advanced cloaking and deep space engines. More fleets followed, each one moving silently, leaving the known stars behind. Entire colonies vanished from council observation. Earth itself became quiet, appearing powerless and obedient. Inside the council chambers, Ambassador Daniel Brooks received his last report before the communication lines were severed. He studied the data and allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. Humanity had left. The council believed they had won, but in truth, the galaxy was about to learn a lesson it would never forget. The silence of humanity was not surrender, it was preparation. The council had paid no attention to the signs. They believed their power unchallenged, their authority absolute, but silence has a power of its own, and humanity had mastered it. In the shadows, fleets waited. Engineers continued their work. Pilots trained in zero-gravity simulations. Scientists monitored every change in the galaxy, predicting how and when to act. Every moment of apparent inactivity was part of a much larger plan. Daniel Brooks looked out at the empty stars from the command deck of the flagship. "They think we are gone," he whispered. They think they have won. Let them enjoy their peace. Our time will come. Above Earth, Council satellites scanned for any sign of rebellion. They found nothing. The galaxy was calm. Their victory was complete, or so they thought. In reality, humanity had made its choice. They were leaving not to escape, but to grow stronger, to survive, and to ensure that no council, no species, no power could ever threaten their existence again. And when they returned, the council would pay for underestimating them. 5 years had passed since humanity had vanished from the known galaxy. To the Galactic Council, it had seemed like a victory. They praised themselves for breaking human pride. Other alien species celebrated that the dangerous humans were gone. Trade routes normalized without human fleets. Border disputes cooled. Entire regions of space seemed more orderly. On Earth, however, humanity was quietly growing stronger. Far from the prying eyes of council censors, humans had relocated to uncharted star systems. They built hidden colonies on planets that were rich with resources. They established massive shipyards on moons and in asteroid belts. Engineers worked tirelessly, scientists researched new technologies, and every human trained for a time they could not yet name. Admiral Megan Holt stood on the bridge of the largest human flagship. The room was full of officers, pilots, and technicians, all focused on their duties. Screens displayed planets, fleets, and systems far beyond council control. "Status report," she said. Her voice was calm but carried authority. Lieutenant Adam Clark, a young but capable officer, looked up from the console. "All fleets are operational, Admiral. Colonies report full resource output. Stealth systems remain fully functional. No council detection has been recorded." Megan nodded. "Good. And the engineers?" Aaron Cole, now overseeing several major scientific divisions, stepped forward. "We are ahead of schedule. The new engines are capable of speeds 3 times faster than Council warships. The defense systems are fully integrated, and automated repair drones are ready for deployment. We can maintain our fleets indefinitely without outside supply lines." Megan smiled slightly. "Then humanity is ready, not for war but for survival." Daniel Brooks, who had been observing from the observation deck, joined them. He had grown older in these years, his hair streaked with gray, but his eyes remained sharp. "It is strange to think," he said, "that the Council believes we are defeated. They believe our silence is weakness, yet we have built something they cannot imagine. Entire fleets, hidden colonies, and technologies far beyond what they allowed us to develop, and all without them knowing." Aaron Cole chuckled. "I suppose that is the advantage of leaving quietly. They watch us obey, they believe we follow rules. Meanwhile, we grow stronger." Outside the fleet, the stars stretched endlessly. Humanity had moved far from the central systems of the galaxy, into regions the Council rarely explored. Here, they could experiment without interference. Artificial habitats floated among asteroid clusters, providing homes for millions of people. Massive energy collectors supplied power to entire fleets. Factories built in orbit produced ships faster than any alien power could anticipate. Despite the success, life was not easy. Every human knew that if they were discovered too early, the Council could still destroy them. Every ship leaving a colony had to remain invisible. Every signal sent was carefully masked. Children were educated in secret, taught skills in navigation, combat strategy, engineering, and diplomacy. Adults trained rigorously, knowing that the peace they now enjoyed was temporary. On one training planet, young pilots practiced maneuvers in simulation pods. Among them was a girl named Lucy Morgan. She was 14, but already showed the skill and focus of a veteran pilot. "I can do it faster," she said to her instructor, adjusting the controls in the simulation. "Watch." Her instructor, a retired fleet captain named Peter James, watched carefully. "Lucy, remember, speed is important, but precision is more important. The Council does not make mistakes. We must never make mistakes either." Lucy nodded. She understood. Every human knew that the day they revealed themselves to the galaxy, they could not afford errors. Meanwhile, in another hidden colony, engineers tested a new generation of stealth engines. The engines emitted almost no energy signature and could bend light around them. Aaron Cole observed the test closely. "If these engines perform as expected, the Council fleets will never detect our approach until it is too late. Not even their most advanced scanners will see us coming." In the Council chambers, life had moved on without humans. Representatives believed the galaxy was safe. Representative Nora Hale, now considered one of the most powerful council members, looked over reports from border systems. "All quiet," she said, satisfied. "Humanity has vanished. Their colonies are inactive. Their fleets are gone. There is no threat." Captain Ryan Clark, one of the council's most experienced officers, frowned. "It is unusual," he said. "Even when humans are quiet, they are never truly gone. I have a feeling we are missing something." Nora waved him off. "Paranoia will do nothing, Captain. Humanity is gone. Enjoy the calm while it lasts." Ryan remained unconvinced. He had seen human ingenuity firsthand. Even when forced into compliance, humans always found ways to survive, adapt, and grow stronger. Still, he had no proof, and the council did not tolerate dissent. Back in the human fleet, life was disciplined. Every crew member had a schedule. Training, engineering, navigation, and drills filled every hour. Humans worked not for glory, but to ensure survival. They remembered the council's cruelty and the dismissive laughter of alien diplomats. And they remembered the lesson: no one can survive if they trust those who see them as weak. Daniel Brooks observed a fleet drill where thousands of ships maneuvered in perfect coordination. It was a silent ballet of power and precision. Not a single ship collided. Not a single error occurred. The human fleet could travel, fight, and defend itself without revealing its position. Megan Holt walked past the observation deck and nodded to Daniel. "All fleets are ready. Every colony is prepared. We have the resources, technology, and people we need. The only thing left is time." Time was the most precious resource. Humanity had learned to wait, to move only when it was safe, and to strike only when necessary. They had developed patience far beyond what the council expected. Silence had been their greatest weapon. In one of the outer colonies, a scientist named Claire Benson monitored communications from neighboring systems. "We are picking up council signals," she said. "But they are routine transmissions. They have no knowledge of our presence." Aaron Cole smiled. "Exactly as planned. They believe we are gone. That is the advantage of departure without confrontation. They prepare no defenses against us because they think there is nothing to prepare for. On the training planets, children learned skills humans had once thought unnecessary. Lucy Morgan learned advanced navigation. Others learned combat strategy, engineering, and leadership. They were being prepared not for rebellion, but for survival and the eventual reintroduction of humanity to the galaxy. One day, Daniel Brooks gathered a group of senior officers. "We cannot remain hidden forever," he said. "The council will eventually notice our absence. They will realize our colonies are not abandoned, our fleets are not destroyed. When that happens, we must be ready." Admiral Holt nodded. "We will be ready. Every ship, every colony, every person is prepared. We have built a system that can operate without detection. We have fleets that can strike or defend without warning. We have trained the next generation to lead, fight, and survive." Aaron Cole added, "And our technology will give us the edge. We have engines faster than any council ship. We have weapons that can disable their fleets without destruction, and we have automated systems to protect us if we cannot be everywhere at once." Daniel looked at the young officers and pilots, seeing determination in their eyes. "The council believes humanity is silent because we obeyed their orders, but silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. We have built an advantage that no one in the galaxy expects. And when the time comes, the council will see that their assumptions about humanity were their greatest mistake. Life in hidden space was not without challenges. Resources had to be managed carefully. Supply lines were long. Communication had to be encrypted and silent. Colonists often worked long shifts to ensure survival, yet humans adapted. They always adapted. Even in leisure, humans were preparing. Games and exercises were designed to develop skills. Children played strategic simulations. Adults engaged in engineering challenges disguised as entertainment. Every activity, every effort was part of a larger plan. One evening on a quiet colony planet, Lucy Morgan and a friend watched the stars. "Do you think they will notice us?" she asked. Her friend shrugged. "Not yet, but they will. And when they do, we'll be ready." Lucy nodded. She understood. Humans were not here to beg for approval. They were here to survive, to grow, and one day to show the galaxy that no council could control a determined species. Meanwhile, the council remained confident. Their fleets patrolled sectors that had once been under human control. They assumed no threat remained. Even Captain Ryan Clark, who suspected something, could not convince the other representatives. Back in the human fleet, Daniel Brooks looked at the navigation charts. They showed regions the Council would never explore, sectors full of resources and hidden planets. "We are safe for now," he said. "But safety is only temporary. Our departure has bought us time. Time to grow stronger, to prepare, and to ensure that when the galaxy learns the truth, humanity will not be vulnerable." Admiral Holt smiled at him. "And when that time comes, Daniel, they will see the result of their arrogance." The fleets moved silently among the stars, unseen and unchallenged. Colonies expanded, technology advanced, and humans trained tirelessly. Every person, every ship, every system played a part in the grand design. The galaxy believed humanity was quiet, powerless, and obedient. But the truth was the opposite. Humanity was growing, learning, and preparing. They had turned their apparent weakness into their greatest strength. And one day, the Council would pay the price of underestimating them. For now, however, the humans waited. They waited with patience, with discipline, and with knowledge that every day of silence brought them closer to the moment when they would no longer be ignored. And in the quiet of hidden space, Daniel Brooks looked at the stars and whispered, "The galaxy believes we are gone. Let them enjoy their calm. Our return will be a lesson they will never forget." The Council had grown confident. After 5 years of human silence, they believed the galaxy was calm. Trade routes were smooth, borders were quiet, and no fleets challenged their authority. Representative Nora Hale looked at the latest reports and smiled. Humanity had vanished, and she believed it would never return. Captain Ryan Clark still felt uneasy. He had seen humans in action before. He remembered how clever and resourceful they were. Even when they obeyed, they always seemed to find ways to adapt. Something about their disappearance did not feel right. "They are too quiet," he told Nora during a council meeting. "Too many systems just disappeared. There is no reason for that. Humans are not predictable." "They don't vanish without a reason." Nora waved him off. "Paranoia, Captain, you worry too much. Humanity has left. Focus on what we can control. The galaxy is safe. We can enjoy the peace we have earned." Ryan did not argue, but he continued to monitor the outer sectors. He noticed strange readings from places humans had once occupied. Occasionally, power grids appeared to fail or malfunction in ways that made no sense. Some automated stations reported interference. Still, all of it was minor. On the surface, it seemed insignificant. Back in hidden human space, life continued quietly. Humanity had moved far beyond Council territory, beyond even the edge of common exploration routes. They had built colonies on uncharted planets, established hidden fleets, and trained a generation ready for any challenge. On the bridge of the flagship, Admiral Megan Holt surveyed the fleet. Hundreds of ships waited silently, cloaked and undetectable. Young pilots ran simulations, older officers reviewed strategies, and engineers worked on refining new technologies. Every system was ready. Every fleet was ready. Aaron Cole joined Megan. "The Council thinks we are gone," he said. "They are preparing nothing because they believe there is no threat. It makes them vulnerable." Megan nodded. "Yes, that is the advantage of patience. They expect weakness. They will get surprise. They will see the result of underestimating humanity." Daniel Brooks, observing from the command deck, spoke quietly. "It is time to test their awareness, not to fight yet, just to make sure they are paying attention. We cannot reveal ourselves completely. But we can make small signals, small disturbances that hint at our presence." Across human colonies, small disruptions began. Drones moved near Council space, just enough to be detected but too small to be dangerous. Minor energy pulses appeared in previously quiet regions. Automated stations reported strange signals, but no fleet ever appeared. The Council noticed, but they did not understand. Nora Hale frowned as reports arrived. "What is happening?" she demanded. "There are readings in sectors we thought were empty, energy spikes." "Ships moving, but nothing confirmed." Captain Ryan Clark stepped forward. "Representative, I warned you, something is happening. I believe humanity is active again, but they are hiding. We cannot underestimate them." Nora waved him off. "Impossible." Humans obeyed the Council. "They vanished. There is nothing left." Ryan clenched his fists. "I do not believe that. We need to prepare. We need fleets ready. We need defenses active. If we wait, it will be too late." Meanwhile, in hidden human space, the fleets prepared for the next phase. They did not move openly, but they did shift positions, testing cloaking systems and movement strategies. Pilots practiced formation flights, Engineers adjusted weapon systems, and scientists ran simulations of Council defenses. Every detail was carefully studied. Lucy Morgan and other young pilots practiced maneuvers that no Council ship could match. Their skills had been trained for years. They knew how to operate the new engines, avoid detection, and strike with precision. Even children were being prepared for leadership roles in the fleet. Aaron Cole explained to a group of officers, "When we move openly, we will not strike blindly. We will show the Council that silence was never weakness. Every fleet, every system, every person must act in unity. That is how humanity survives and how we will make them pay for underestimating us." Admiral Holt nodded. "It is not revenge, it is a lesson. They will see that they cannot dismiss any species. They will see the cost of arrogance." As the fleets shifted closer to Council space, minor incidents began. Energy pulses disrupted communications. Automated satellites failed for hours. Small Council patrol ships reported strange interference. Some even claimed to have glimpsed cloaked objects moving just beyond sensor range. Nora Hale became increasingly worried. "How is this possible? Humans cannot be back. We monitored every system." Captain Ryan Clark stepped forward again. "They are back, Representative. Not in force yet, but they are testing us. We should activate our fleets, prepare for engagement. We cannot wait until they strike." Nora shook her head. "No, they cannot be that clever. I will not panic the Council over rumors. Maintain observation, but do not overreact." Back in the hidden human colonies, Daniel Brooks monitored Council responses. "They are cautious but blind. They notice disturbances but cannot trace them. That is exactly what we need. Keep testing, keep observing, keep learning. We have time. And patience is our greatest weapon." The next months were tense. Humanity remained hidden, but the Council grew increasingly uneasy. Patrols were extended. Fleets were repositioned. Resources were diverted to systems that seemed quiet but now registered unusual signals. Yet every time the Council tried to find a human fleet, there was nothing. Within the human fleet, morale was high. They had trained for this moment for decades. Every crew member knew their role. Every pilot, engineer, and soldier understood the importance of stealth and precision. Even minor errors were corrected immediately, and every system was tested multiple times. Aaron Cole reported, "Our engines perform perfectly. Our cloaking systems are undetectable. Our weapons are precise. We can strike anywhere, and no Council fleet will know until it is too late." Megan Holt smiled. "Then humanity is ready, not for war yet, but for the moment when we must act. And when that moment comes, the Council will learn the cost of arrogance." Daniel Brooks looked out at the stars. "They will not expect us. They believe silence is weakness. They will see that patience is far stronger than pride." One day, a Council patrol ship reported a new reading. A small energy signature moved near a previously abandoned system. It was faint, almost imperceptible, but enough to alarm the Council. Nora Hale demanded answers. "What is this? Explain it." Captain Ryan Clark tried to remain calm. "Representative, it is possible humanity is testing our sensors. They may have returned to the galaxy without alerting us. We need to prepare for any possibility." Nora scowled. "Impossible. They obeyed us. They vanished. They have no fleets, no colonies, no power. This must be a mistake." Ryan shook his head. "I warned you. Humans are never predictable. We cannot ignore the signs." Back in human space, the fleet observed the Council reaction. It was exactly what they expected. The Council was cautious but overconfident. They would not prepare enough, and when humanity revealed its full strength, they would be unready. Lucy Morgan trained with her squadron in a simulation that mimicked Council patrols. They moved quickly and silently, executing maneuvers that would make detection impossible. "We have to be perfect," she said. "One mistake and they will find us." Her instructor, Captain Peter James, nodded. "Remember, Lucy, patience is power. Do not strike unless we need to. Observation and precision will win the day." Daniel Brooks reviewed data from every colony. "We know their weaknesses. We have studied their fleets. We have predicted their movements. When the time comes, we will not fight blindly. We will act strategically, efficiently, and decisively." Aaron Cole added, "And we will ensure that every system, every ship, every person contributes to our advantage. That is the difference between us and the Council. They rely on power alone. We rely on intelligence, preparation, and unity." Months passed. The Council continued to notice anomalies but could not understand their origin. Human colonies remained invisible, fleets remained hidden, and the Council grew anxious. Captain Ryan Clark pleaded once again. "We need to prepare. They are active. We cannot wait until they strike openly. We must mobilize our fleets and be ready for engagement." Nora Hale refused. "No, humanity has vanished. They are silent because they obeyed us. There is no need to overreact." Ryan clenched his fists but knew he had no choice. For now, he could only watch and wait, hoping that the Council would not be caught completely unprepared. Meanwhile, human fleets continued to grow. New ships were added, older ships were upgraded, and every system was tested under extreme conditions. Every colony produced resources, trained personnel, and maintained stealth. Daniel Brooks gathered the senior officers once more. "The Council is beginning to notice us, but they do not understand. That is our advantage. We will continue to observe, continue to test, and continue to prepare. One day, we will no longer be hidden, and when that day comes, the Council will see the full cost of underestimating humanity." Megan Holt added, "And they will learn that silence can be stronger than fleets. That patience can be deadlier than weapons. They will regret every time they laughed at humanity, every time they dismissed us, and every time they assumed we were weak." Aaron Cole smiled. "The galaxy believes we are gone. That is our greatest strength. Let them enjoy their calm while it lasts. Our time is coming." In hidden space, life continued with quiet precision. Fleets moved, colonies expanded, and humans trained without rest. Every person understood the importance of what they were doing. Lucy Morgan looked out at the stars once more. "When the Council discovers us, they will be surprised." Her friend nodded. "Not just surprised, they will learn what happens when they underestimate a species that never gives up." And in the Council chambers, Representative Nora Hale continued to believe that humanity was silent, powerless, and obedient. She had no idea that the humans had grown beyond anything the Council could imagine. The galaxy was about to change forever. And humanity was ready. The Council still believed humanity was silent, obedient, and powerless. Their fleets patrolled the galaxy confidently, their officers thinking every system under their control was secure. Representative Nora Hale sat in the main chamber, reviewing reports with a calm expression. To her, the humans were gone, forgotten, and unthreatening. Captain Ryan Clark watched her with growing frustration. "Representative, we cannot ignore this anymore. Human activity is increasing. We are seeing signs that they have returned. Our fleets are not prepared. If we wait, it will be too late." Nora shook her head. "Captain, humanity obeyed us. They left. Their colonies are inactive. Any fleet would have been destroyed if it existed." "You are overreacting." Ryan clenched his fists. He had tried warnings for years, but the Council had ignored him. "They are clever, Representative. They do not attack openly because they do not need to. They are testing us, probing us, and gathering information. And when they act, it will be decisive. We cannot be blind to this." Meanwhile, in hidden human space, fleets moved into strategic positions near the outer rim of Council territory. Ships were cloaked, invisible to scanners, and crews were ready. Engineers monitored the new engines, ensuring they could reach speeds the Council could not match. Pilots practiced formations that no alien fleet could anticipate. Every detail had been planned for years. Daniel Brooks stood on the command deck of the flagship. His eyes scanned the star charts of Council space. "They believe we are weak," he said quietly. "They do not know we exist. Their fleets are vulnerable, their systems exposed. They will learn the cost of underestimating humanity." Admiral Megan Holt nodded. "We will not strike blindly. We will use precision, patience, and strategy. Our goal is not to destroy, but to show them the consequences of arrogance." Aaron Cole added, "And their arrogance has made them careless. Every fleet position is known, every patrol pattern is predictable. They will be caught unprepared." Lucy Morgan adjusted her simulator controls. "We are ready," she said to her squadron. "Every maneuver, every formation, every plan we practiced will matter. When the time comes, we will move as one." The first real test came when a Council survey ship detected an anomaly. It reported faint energy readings in a region previously thought empty. The Council scrambled a small patrol fleet, but the readings disappeared before they arrived. Satellites recorded brief interference and then returned to normal. Nora Hale dismissed it as a sensor malfunction. "It is nothing. Humans cannot be back." Ryan Clark disagreed. "Representative, it is a warning. Humanity is active. They are telling us without revealing themselves. They are preparing us for what is coming." The Council continued to underestimate the humans. They deployed small fleets, assuming nothing more than a minor curiosity. But hidden human fleets observed everything. They recorded every movement, every response, and analyzed Council weaknesses. Daniel Brooks watched the data. They are slow to react, overly confident, and dependent on technology they cannot control. Our advantage is clear. When we act, we will do so efficiently and decisively. No Council ship will anticipate it. Humanity waited. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The Council remained oblivious, celebrating their assumed dominance. Trade routes were secure. Patrols continued. Borders seemed calm. Then the first strike occurred. It was not a full attack. It was a demonstration. Cloaked human ships approached Council stations quietly, just enough to disable their communications temporarily. Defense satellites failed in isolated sectors. Patrol ships reported strange interference and minor system malfunctions. Panic spread quickly. Council officers scrambled fleets to investigate, only to find no ships, no visible threat. Humanity remained hidden. The Council began to realize that something was wrong. Nora Hale called an emergency meeting. "Explain this immediately," she demanded. "All our fleets report anomalies. Satellites are failing, patrol ships are disabled, and we cannot trace the source." Captain Ryan Clark spoke firmly. "Representative, humanity is back. They are active. We underestimated them. These are only minor tests. They are watching, learning, and preparing. If we do not act, we will be caught completely off guard." Nora shook her head. "Impossible. They obeyed us. They left. This is a glitch, nothing more." Ryan clenched his fists in frustration. "You are wrong. They are testing us, and when they reveal themselves, it will be decisive. We must prepare now before it is too late." Back in human space, Daniel Brooks observed Council movements. They are panicking, but they still do not understand. Their fleets are scattered, their systems weak. Their confidence has been their downfall. Megan Holt addressed the fleet. "This is the moment we have trained for. We are ready. We will not strike blindly. We will disable their fleets, secure control, and demonstrate the cost of arrogance. Every ship, every crew member, every system must act as one. Humanity will remind the galaxy of its strength." Aaron Cole added, "Engines are prepared for maximum speed. Weapons are ready, but our goal is precision, not destruction. We will immobilize their fleets without unnecessary damage. They will see what it means to underestimate us." Lucy Morgan and her squadron prepared for deployment. "Every maneuver counts," she said. "We move as one. One error could expose us." The human fleets moved silently, approaching Council territory. Cloaked ships slipped past patrols and defense systems, undetected. Colonies near Council borders sent minor signals to test reactions. Every move was calculated, every observation recorded. Council fleets scrambled when minor anomalies were detected, but every effort to locate the source failed. Satellites went offline, communications were disrupted, and patrol ships experienced temporary system failures. Panic spread across Council command centers. Nora Hale finally realized the truth. "They are here. Humanity has returned," she shouted. "Prepare all fleets for immediate engagement." Captain Ryan Clark nodded grimly. "It is too late for minor fleets. We need full mobilization. Humanity is stronger than we imagined. We have underestimated them for centuries." Human fleets advanced further, still cloaked. Daniel Brooks monitored Council communications, noting their panic and uncoordinated movements. "They are trying to respond," he said. "But their fleets are scattered. Their systems are weak. They will not be able to react efficiently." Megan Holt gave the final order. "Begin the operation. Remember, our goal is to show strength, not destroy. We will disable their fleets, demonstrate our capability, and secure our position." Human ships revealed themselves, but not all at once. Cloaked vessels struck key Council ships with precise gravitational pulses that immobilized engines and systems without causing destruction. Council ships drifted powerless, unable to defend themselves. Nora Hale watched in horror as reports came in. How is this possible?" she whispered. Captain Ryan Clark shook his head. "They were never gone. They planned this for years. Every movement, every system, every fleet was hidden. We never saw it coming." Daniel Brooks addressed the Council directly, broadcasting a message across all channels. "Humanity does not seek war, but it will defend itself. We left because we were denied respect and freedom. You believed our silence was weakness. It was strategy. The galaxy will learn the cost of arrogance and underestimation." Council fleets attempted to retaliate, but human technology and strategy outmatched them. Automated defense systems disrupted Council communications. Cloaked ships appeared in unexpected positions, immobilizing key vessels. The Council had underestimated human patience, planning, and intelligence. Admiral Megan Holt observed the progress. "They are learning the lesson," she said. "We do not destroy, we demonstrate." "Humanity will not be dismissed," Aaron Cole smiled. "And they will never make the same mistake again. Silence is not weakness, patience is strength, planning is power." Within hours, the Council's fleets were immobilized, their command centers disrupted, and their pride shattered. Humanity had returned not for revenge, but to show the cost of arrogance and underestimation. Lucy Morgan piloted her ship through Council space, executing maneuvers she had practiced for years. "We move as one," she said. "Every pilot, every ship, every fleet. Humanity is united." Daniel Brooks observed the results. "They believed we were gone. They believed our silence was weakness. Now they know the truth. The Council has paid the price of underestimating a species they thought powerless." Nora Hale, defeated and humiliated, finally understood. We misjudged them. We were arrogant. We ignored the signs." Captain Ryan Clark nodded grimly. "It took too long, Representative. Humanity has returned on its terms. We cannot undo what has been done." Humanity did not destroy. They did not kill unnecessarily. They immobilized and demonstrated their strength. They reclaimed control of the systems they had once been denied. Every colony, every fleet, and every hidden base contributed to this operation. Daniel Brooks addressed the galaxy one final time. "Humanity will no longer be underestimated. We have shown patience, strategy, and intelligence can surpass arrogance and strength. The Council learned this lesson. Let every species know it. Humanity is silent, but it is never weak." The Council was forced to resign, restructure, and acknowledge human power. Fleets were rebuilt under new leadership, with new respect for the species they once dismissed. Humanity had returned not to conquer, but to protect itself and the freedom of every civilization. Admiral Megan Holt surveyed the fleets, smiling. "They believed our silence was weakness. Now they understand. Humanity cannot be dismissed," Aaron Cole added, "and they never will again." Lucy Morgan looked at the stars, knowing that the galaxy had changed forever. "We waited, we prepared, and now they know the truth. Humanity is strong, united, and patient. They will never forget it." Daniel Brooks looked over the fleets one last time. "The Council paid the price, not with death, but with the lesson they should have learned centuries ago. Humanity has returned not for war, but for respect. And that respect will never be ignored again." The galaxy watched, stunned and humbled. Humanity had returned from silence, and the era of underestimation was over. Patience, strategy, and intelligence had triumphed over arrogance and pride. Humanity had left quietly, prepared for decades, and returned stronger than anyone could imagine. And that was the true price the Council paid.